guys, I'm Lin Zhidan, but you can call me Holly instead. Today I'm going to talk about bike touring or cycling in general. So what do you want to know?
What bike did you have?
I actually have or had 4 bikes because I lost the first one, so I can't really show it here. And this is my second bike, and its name is Xiao bike because it's small and it's white. It's very functional. It's a 20-inch folding bike, and I rode it for like 10,000 kilometers or more than that. And I rode it in many parts of China. I rode it in New Zealand. Also took it to Taiwan. This is my third bike. It's a road bike. It doesn't have a name because I don't love him enough. And yes, but I took him to many places like Taiwan again, New Zealand again, and some Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia and Thailand. And I also rode it in South Korea. I love South Korea. Again, so this is my 4th bike. His name is Astolfo. Yes, it's a he. And my friend Stephen helped me to name it. And it's a gravel bike, but it's a steel frame. Recently, I rode it to the UK and also into some European countries, probably 10, I guess, starting from the Baltics. And and also I rode it into the Alps. I rode it to the Alps. Okay, so why did I choose the right bike? It wasn't really a choice, to be honest, because my first bike was a gift from my boyfriend, and I was basically forced to do this. Anyway, so we went on to our first cycling trip in the eastern part of China. It was really hilly, and the trip was about 700 to 800 kilometers. It was really difficult for someone who had never ridden a bike before. And I hated it so much. I couldn't finish it. I took a bus. And I even swore that I would never ride a bike again. So, but after a few years of cycling at the weekends, and I started to feel that probably cycling is okay. So, and then I didn't know what to do for the holidays because I had many holidays as a teacher. And yes, and then in 2016, I rode a bike to Taiwan, and it was at that time I started to enjoy riding a bike solo, and I met a lot of local people who were really friendly and who were really kind and accommodating to me. They would recommend me to visit these people and go to those places and do different sports. For example, river trekking, also surfing. I try new things. I didn't just cycle around, I also try new things. I really enjoyed it. So now that's it. This is how someone who hated cycling could actually fall in love with cycling. Is it common to see girls bike touring around? I wouldn't say it's uncommon because I've seen a few, but I did actually see more guys than girls. And I think there are quite a lot of reasons, obviously. The safety issues and the inconveniences. For example, you can't take a shower. Sometimes you can't take a shower if you don't have water. You even have a problem with drinking water. And for safety issues, obviously, if you have to camp alone, probably you want to hide yourself a little bit. You don't want some creeps like unzip your tent and see what you are doing inside. And you can't just I wouldn't say that you can't just. It would be better if you think twice before you knock on someone's door and ask for water or food or shelter. I mean, you definitely have to think a little bit more than if you were a guy. So now that's it. Ding! Are the pros and cons of cycling around or bike touring? one of the pros is you can actually travel slowly. By going slowly, you would have more time to think of the things that you wouldn't normally think. And you can also have more time to observe, to interact with the people, or just to appreciate where you are. I mean, for example, suppose that if you're driving, so probably you would just go across the mountain in 1 hour or two. But if you're cycling, it probably would take you an entire day. So by spending that time, by having that time to appreciate your surroundings, I think that is it's a kind of a pros, I think. And the second pros is, I don't know why, but it was a fact. I actually made more friends after I decided to cycle around. Probably people will be more interested in you. I'm not saying that you should take it for granted and you should talk about yourself all night long, but still, it can be a conversation starter. It's the start of a new friendship. I actually met quite a lot of friends that I'm still in touch with after cycle or when I started bike touring. The cons of bike touring. One of the cons is, again, being very slow. I don't know, I mean, if you drive, suppose that if you're driving or if you're traveling on a train, and it would just take you a day to go across the UK, right? But it would take you a month or even more time to cycle across the UK from end to end. So yes, it's really slow, and which would also cost you more money. Suppose that, because camping in the UK is illegal, so probably sometimes you will have to stay with the paid accommodation, and you will have to go to a certified campsite. So it would cost you more money. So yeah, that was the first con. Another con is, I think it was not just about cycling or touring around. I think it was touring as a woman, solo woman. I think there's safety issues and also inconvenience with how to clean yourself. So the second cons of cycling or bike touring, I want to talk about bike touring as a woman alone. So probably one of the biggest issue is safety. I mean, although 90% or 99% of the people in the world, they are really nice, but sometimes you can come across creeps, and they are really creeps. Just be careful, and I don't have any tips for that. So any suggestions for beginners? Yes, I mean, unless you are really determined, probably you would like to travel with someone else. You will want to cycle with someone else, because they will be there to be supportive if you want to quit, and you can look after each other. So that is a good thing of not cycling alone. And if you can't, I mean, if you really have to cycle alone, so start with the easy options first. So start with the places you will feel comfortable and safe with. For example, the New Zealand, probably Taiwan, and those are the safe places you can travel to even if you are a woman. Do not go on a grand adventure at the very beginning. You don't have to think about quitting your job or leaving your house to cycle to different continents, or go to Africa or South America. You don't have to think like that. Just to start from your front door, take the easy steps and break things down. So yes, that's my suggestion for the beginners. Thank you, Naoki-san, for having me on this interview. I really enjoyed it. and this is the first time, not the first time, the second time I'm doing an interview for someone. It was a little bit awkward, but I hope it's somehow helpful to you guys. And just follow him on Instagram and on all platforms. And also, if you are interested in my rides and interested in my trips, you can click the link below.